Hey guys, Mike the Mank here with another YouTube video. So today we're going to be talking about No Man's Sky's latest update, known as Atlas Rises. Now, if you've been living under a rock for the past 12 months, you may or may not be aware of all the controversies surrounding No Man's Sky. So No Man's Sky was released way back in 2016, around about this time. And prior to its release, there was a lot of hype about the game. There was a lot of players really looking forward to playing this space survival exploration game. It came with a lot of hype, it came with a lot of expectation. We all saw the E3 trailers and we all sat there with anticipation and much hype about a new space survival exploration game that was sorely missing and that we wanted to get our hands on. What transpired from its release was a game that felt very bare and overall was nowhere near what we saw at E3. And so, following on from this, came a lot of abuse at the devs, a lot of abuse, a lot of negative reviews about the game, a lot of negative reviews about Hello Games to especially Sean Murray, a lot of hate mail, a lot of general huge backlash to No Man's Sky because of this expectation. To be fair to Hello Games, they did promise, after this backlash, they promised to improve the game significantly to help ease the pain and frustration that we all felt and that we felt that the game gave us, and that they would address all of the content issues that we felt that the game have. Because let's face it, when the game was released, it was very bare. It was very minimum. It literally had no content. And so for a lot of people, it wasn't good enough. And for a AAA game, for a game that was released as a AAA title and price, yes, there was simply not enough content in there. So, speaking of content, Hello Games have released several updates to No Man's Sky in the hope that they will try and get back the player base that it had on its initial release. So the latest update that they've released is, like I said, Atlas Rises. And what Hello Games have promised is they have promised to begin with an additional 30 hours of story-based content to add on to the story, as well as to introduce a new species into the galaxy that you will face. Whether they are allies, whether they are enemies, I have yet to see. I have personally started a new save. The reason that I have done this is because I've heard that previous saves can be corrupted or can be affected by the new update. So I wanted to start again and experience the game with a fresh set of eyes and to see all the changes as best as I could. Other things in which they have said that they've included are a overall graphical update. So rendering overall, as well as lighting, as well as more textures, and just overall a graphical upgrade to the game, which I definitely think you can see. I do think that there's a little bit less popping now in the environments. There is more atmospheric kind of effects now you can see on all the planets when you visit them, as well as overall the fauna and foliage and that kind of detail is very much improved. It just looks a little bit sharper, which is cool. The aesthetics, as always, looks really nice. The looks of the galaxies, the different color palettes, the colors that are used, all look very good. Still look very unique as it did in the base game. Yeah, it's nice to see that they've upgraded the graphics, which is cool. Another thing that they've added, they have also added portals now. So if you are base building, which came with the previous update, if you are built a base somewhere and you've enjoyed building that, you can now use portals to get between planets. So you're not having to worry about making sure you've got enough fuel or boost or whatever it is that you need to get between the different galaxies or planets. So you can literally use a portal and you're there. So that's a really good addition. I do like that. I would say that the biggest addition that they have brought into No Man's Sky with this update is what is called guilds. Now, guilds are essentially, if you've ever played Elite Dangerous, guilds are of the same cloth of what they are in Elite Dangerous. So you have 3 guilds altogether. You have a space combat guild, you have an exploration guild, and you have a trading guild. So depending on what playstyle you want to play as or use in No Man's Sky, you can gain reputation and you can gain or standing with a said guild. So if you wanted to be an adventurer or a lone wolf, you can do that with the adventurer guild. If you want to trade with other people or other races, other factions, you can do that. If you want to just be a general adventurer, you can do it. And you will gain standing with them and you will gain experience with them. which then means that you can get better blueprints or maybe better upgrades to your exosuit, etc. So I think that's a very good addition. It brings a lot of replayability into No Man's Sky, which was sorely missing because the original base game for me felt very, very basic, very simplistic, very repetitive in terms of its gameplay. So that's a nice addition. I really do like it. A thing that I would love to see No Man's Sky utilize, the thing that I reckon would bring a lot of players back into No Man's Sky and would play it on a regular basis. I'd love to see like kind of a experience or like an achievements bar, you know, an experience bar, like progress bar or something like that, where anything you do in No Man's Sky, whether that is exploration, whether that is mining, whether that is building, whether that is speaking with other life forms, other species, research. I would love to see something where you're constantly gaining progression, which then gets you onto maybe another level or maybe a perk or maybe another weapon or upgrade. Something that is going to again bring that replayability factor into No Man's Sky. Because I think that after you've experienced a few planets, after you've experienced most of the wildlife, it kind of all looks the same. And that's another big problem that I have with No Man's Sky. Doesn't seem a lot of variety in terms of the enemies in which you face. You have the sentinels or the sentients or the bots that fly around looking after you. You do have some predators, some creatures that attack you, but predominantly every single planet's either got the crab things that run around and chase you, it's either got the tentacle things that swipe at you, and that's pretty much it. There's not a great deal of variety. You've got the mech robot thing that comes after you attack so many sentinels. You know, they do come. That's a little bit of variety, but it'd be nice to. Where's the big rhino thing that we saw at E3 that would charge at you and demolish part of a building or the trees or environment? Where's the big rhino thing? Where's the big dino thing that we saw? Where's the mix of like a T-Rex thing that might chase you? These are things that I think are going to keep the game exciting for players and that are going to make you want to explore all these planets. They're going to make you want to explore these different hostile environments to find out what's really out there. So that's again a big deal that I still think is evident even with this latest update, that I think they need to up the amount of creatures and environments and just make them more livable. Still feel like they feel very sparse, they feel very empty to me. That's just my opinion. Another thing that I would love to see as well in a future update is I would love them to utilize or to implement something that is seen in like Final Fantasy 14, that is seen in obviously Final Fantasy 15 as well, or is seen in the latest Zelda game. Something that is like a dungeon, an area or a secret place that is like a dungeon, where you may pick up a mission or like a side mission. You may get coordinates to a said dungeon and you go in and there could be enemies there that you have to fight. There could be puzzles there that you have to solve. There could be riddles there that you have to try and solve. There could be a mix of both. There could be a mini boss in there that you have to fight. Just something that is like reminiscent of a dungeon. That again is very mysterious, that you may have to do a load of side missions in order to find it, but planets have them. I think that would be very, very, very good. Very interesting as well for players, especially for people like myself that I love to explore, I love to find, I love to find all these little nooks and crannies and all these hidden places, and it makes me really want to invest more into the game and put the hours in. So I think something like that would bring a lot of players back into No Man's Sky. The addition, obviously, of building is very good. I think it's very cool. It's very interesting. The addition of growing your own crops and your own materials is a good addition again. I think that the use of them utilizing a buggy or a Land Rover or, you know, Land Cruiser type vehicle for exploration is, again, a great addition. I also think that the UI has been improved a great deal, which is great to see. It's a lot easier now. The fact that storage is a little bit better, the fact that you can stack materials on top of each other is a very good addition as well. It's easy to use. You can put down the save spots wherever you want. You can put down the signal boosters wherever you want to find more minerals, more materials, etc. Yeah, that's a very, very good addition. But I think this game is still way off from what it could be. I think it's still way off from what we expected it to be at the E3 demos and the the reveals. I still think this game has a long way to go to get the trust back off consumers and off people that really wanted this vast and mysterious galaxy and world that Hello Games claimed that they were going to produce. I think it's a long way away from that. At the moment, I know that No Man's Sky is on offer anyway here for the UK. It's on offer. I don't know about the States. I don't know about anywhere else in the world. But currently on the store, it's on offer. I definitely think that for, I think it was, don't quote me on this, but I think it was around about £10. I think that it's worth it. I think it's very, very much worth that amount of money if you've not picked up the game yet. If you're curious about picking up the game, I would definitely pick it up, because I do think that, true to their word, Hello Games have updated the game like they said they would. And I think that they will continue to do so. But yeah, I still think the game is a long way away from being what we want it to be. The flying, everything is a lot better than it used to be. No longer have we autopilot modes and there's more control. Again, it seems like they've kind of taken a little bit from Elite Dangerous, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because Elite Dangerous is a very, very solid space flight sim. So it's nice to see that they've implemented that. It's nice to see that there's new ships there now. It's nice to see that there is more freighters. It's nice to see a bit more variety in terms of who you can interact with and who you can speak to on the planets. There's a little bit more variety on the actual bases and how many bases there are on each planet. But yeah, I think the biggest thing that No Man's Sky needs to do is it needs to make the planets a little bit more livable. And in terms of creatures that are there, in terms of the enemies that are there, maybe in terms of more sentience and more sentinels or whatever they are called, that would be a very good and welcome addition. And I think the biggest thing that's going to make this to the next level, I know a lot of people can turn around and go, well, you're making comparisons there with Destiny, you're making comparisons there with Warframe or maybe something like that, but people like dungeons. They do. They like the end game. That, you know, to them, that's why they constantly keep playing it. Final Fantasy 14, people just do dungeons mostly, and it's that replayability factor. So they're just some of my thoughts, guys, on No Man's Sky at the moment. I think it's definitely going in a more positive direction. I think that the game has still a lot of potential. It's still a very pretty game, still a very stunning and aesthetically pleasing game. If you're on the fence about picking it up, I would definitely pick it up if it's on sale. If it's full price at the moment, I would potentially still wait. But yeah, that's my review, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed this video, do give it a like. If you have any comments or any opinions on what you think of the latest update, do put down in the comment section below. I will try my best to read them and get back to you. And make sure you share the video. And if you want to see more content like this, do make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I do stream a lot on Twitch. I am recently streaming No Man's Sky on Twitch. If you do want to hang out or stop by and have a look and see for yourself what the game is like, you can follow me on Twitch. It is twitch.tv/MikeTheBank. Or you can follow me on Twitter or any social medias. Again, it is under the same heading, Mike the Bank, or twitter.com/Mike the Bank. And until next time, guys, I will see you. Have a great evening, afternoon, or morning, whenever you're viewing this video, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.